before that you can run to the hospital quickly and seek medical attention. Pale, gray, or blue colored skin. Talk about skin. The palm is not part of our skin, is it? Is it part of the skin? Well, but yeah, it's an outer. It's also an outer layer, right, of the body. It's part of the skin. All right. So lips or nail beds, depending on skin tone. So she talked about sometimes most of us, almost everyone, there's some kind of thing about your lips, maybe pink or so, but not everyone, right? A lot of people have black lips. So people like that. Maybe you may have to now look for new confusion, persistent pain, or pressure because their lips are already naturally black. So if you say because you're seeing their lips now black, or you recognizing that today, or because you've heard that some of the signs and symptoms, some of the possible signs and symptoms that you can look at to consider in making sure that you seek emergency attention, medical attention, then you say, well, the person has black lips, but this guy been having these black lips for some time now, even up to since his birth, right? So maybe you may have to now consider looking for, trouble breathing, persistent pain, new confusion, inability to wake or stay. But the administering of the COVID-19 vaccine is going to be starting, according to what the Ministry of Health said yesterday, is going to be starting by the 5th of August. So by the 5th of August, the government is going to start administering the new vaccine. That is the Johnson and Johnson. And again, quickly, I just want to inform you, the public, again, that if you took the first vaccine, which is the AstraZeneca vaccine, there is no need. Absolutely, there is no need. You've already taken one dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, so there is no need now for you to go for the Johnson and Johnson. All you have to do is to wait. Today is the 30th. We are hoping that the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine comes into the country that is today, according to what the minister told us on Saturday, that by the 30th, the government is expecting to receive into the country another vaccine, the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, so that those that took the first dose can go about to take the second dose. But do not be stubborn, right? Do not play hard head. You want to sit down and act stubborn, and because this is Liberia, well, but we've been doing something, you've been drinking Kojolobo and other things, and they've not harmed us. So I want to now. Some of you may think that you're acting smart, but you may just be harming yourself. Someone may sit down and think that, okay, the fact that I have taken AstraZeneca vaccine one dose and my other dose is on the way, let me go for one of the Johnson and Johnson vaccine and add it there. Then when AstraZeneca vaccine come, I put another one there. So I'll be having 3 doses in me, meaning I'll be more protected than other people. You are not a medical practitioner to determine how well what you take in to protect you. The medical experts are advising you to not go for the Johnson and Johnson vaccine when you have already taken the AstraZeneca vaccine. It's going to be dangerous for you. I hope you consider that. Let's now go to Lofa County, where we have live on the line Koloba Akwe. Koloba Akwe is a journalist there in Lofa. Koloba is also a school administrator. Koloba is an educator. Koloba is a farmer as well. Of course, you say he's from Lofa County, so he's about farming. Koloba is a farmer. The other day, just yesterday, I was looking on his page and I saw him, putting cassava up. I said, look at this guy. You're provoking me. You want me to come back home? Yeah, you want me to come back home. Even though after many years, I've not gone home, but I know someday I'm going to come back home, and I'm certainly going to visit you there in Vonjama, where we're going to sit down and have some, Lofa County breakfast. But Koloba, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. I feel at home already having you on the line. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Dafa. Thank you so much for having me along this morning.
Well, this is Labindi. I know sometimes you get confused with the Matthias Dafa and Matthias Labindi. Yeah, this is Matthias Labindi.
Okay, Labindi. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Iris, Lofa County, son.
Well, Lofa County is calm this morning. Just around by yesterday morning, we woke up to shocking news that the administrative building was locked down by some supporter of Brady Samuka. But later down, the news just caught people by surprise. And when the police got into it was amicably resolved. And the protesters, 7 were arrested and slept behind bar and waiting for their lawyers to go and see how best they can have their release.
You think how many persons were arrested, you see?
7 persons.
7 persons.
Yeah, including the ringleader David Mauro.
David Mauro, yeah.
Yeah, David Mauro is the clerk for the commissioner, an employee of the government.
He's the clerk. Is the clerk for the commissioner of what district?
Commissioner of Vonjama district, and he worked in a very administrative building.
And so he led the protest.
Yeah, he led the protest.
Forgetting relinquishing his position for a time being to ensure that he goes ahead with a protest.
Yeah, with a protest. Yes.
So has his boss? Let's deal with the issue step by step. Right? Has his boss, the commissioner in question, has he taken any action against him?
Well, the commissioner on the radio immediately yesterday, he said he was in fact recommending immediate suspension for time indefinite because he don't have the power to dismiss him. So he said, but he's going to recommend for his immediate dismissal because you are only a commissioner, you do not employ people. It is the government that employ people. So he said he will make his recommendation and he condemned the act because that is his personal secretary. Because as a clerk in the commissioner office, you are the secretary for the entire district. So, but what maybe he slept in jail yesterday and they are trying to release him this money according to what I learned that the lawyers are on the way from Monrovia to Vonjama.
Korba, Lofa County is a peaceful county. I know we've had some issues, several years back. Most of the terrible things that happening in this country, they passed through Lofa County. HIV first was reported in the history of this country. The first case of AIDS was reported from Lofa County. Coronavirus, Ebola, by the way, Ebola started from there as well. So, except that people use it as a transit point to, bring in evil, but Lofians generally are peaceful people. To what extent, was there any damage caused yesterday in terms of maybe normal activities of other people who were doing their other things? The administrative building, as you said, that was shut down, by the way. So working activities that were seized. In terms of business, in terms of movement, whether there were any vandalism carried on, by people there.
You know what happened? They went as early as 6 o'clock in the morning. So alarm blew before even 7 o'clock. So the joint security quickly handled the situation and just contained the administrative building so they did not spread. But in Foya, they had they wounded the commissioner, special assistant there.
In Foya. So how many districts altogether people protested in?
Three districts. Yeah, Zozo, Vonjama, and Foya. 3 districts. But there was no incident of violence in Zozo. But in Foya, there was an incident of violence, and in Vonjama, the county authority called it obstruction of government function. That's why they are being held for sealing and locking. The administrative compound, thereby depriving government offices for being open for some time.
Okay, now Korba, you said the commissioner's assistant in Foya district was wounded by whom? Protesters or the police?
Yeah, but the protester, they went to his office. In fact, he was a target. But unfortunately for them, they did not, the punch or the hit did not reach, the commissioner, but then it hit his assistant. So that's why going wounded on his forehead and his face.
So the people that have been arrested, have you heard, like maybe listening to local radios there, have you heard people calling, other Lofians calling for their immediate release because of their protest was genuine? Some may justify that way. Have you heard anything like that on the radios?
No. See, what happened is that before this protest, Honorable Brandon Samuka fight for certification was actually gaining momentum. But from yesterday incident, listen to the radio stations. The calls that were coming in were all condemning what they did, because they said the Lofians have voted, they have played their part. They should not be responsible for Brandon Samuka not being certificated. If they want to do any demonstration, it should not be in Vonjama because they voted him already. They are, if I agree, they should go to Monrovia, not in Vonjama or not in Zoso or not in Foya, because they already played their part. So it is Samuka and his team that's supposed to play their part, because even when the president came here, Foya district raised the issue, wait for the law. very people who voted him to try to victimize them, I think they are slipping along the way in the country if they continue this route.
Some of the supporters, right?
Yeah, some of the supporters, and you can only see on social media where people saying they might release it, but you can't hear people talking that in fact they might release it immediately or else something will happen. No, we are now actually all the color line on the 2 radio stations. May say if I release them, they say in fact they should go through the court process. That's what they are pushing for. He said this is not the way of the Lofa people. This is not a way of the for all the quarter yesterday. Even in Foya, my colleague was telling me that people condemn the action. You can protest in the street, but you can't go to take a lock and put it on administrative building and then try to. In fact, the intention was because they moved straightly. It was they were coordinated. Even in Zozo, they attempted also closing the administrative building there. So when a medical commissioner in Foya, there where they tried to, they touching the commissioner trying to escape from them. That's what happened yesterday.
So Calabar, sometime some weeks ago, I had a conversation with the former superintendent of the county, Galekbai Kotima. Kotima, and he assured the public that the government should expect something. He did not state exactly what is that thing that the government should expect. But until we woke up to the news of what happened there yesterday, has he made any public statement condemning any action of the action of the young people yesterday who staged a protest on any of the local radio stations?
No, not at all. And in fact, what is presently happening now in the country is that people usually wear Brandon Samuka, her offices were always packed even before this, but yesterday the place was very, very empty after that protest. And I have been one person that whenever Samuka sees my call, he picks the call because during the campaign, I was embedded into his camp, trying to cover it because he was a heavyweight in the raid. But then he kept telling me that he has not sanctioned any violence. He said the people have the right to protest, but they don't have the right to carry any violence. He said he has always been against that. Even if he plays the call, he will also repeat it. But his failure is that he don't get on the public radio to denounce this. That's the problem.
He has not spoken to any station there regarding anything.
He has not spoken to any station there.
But according to you, he replied to your text message saying that he's not the one that asked the people to protest. Meanwhile, they also have their rights to do so.
Yeah, to do so. And even before the president came, he also talked to me. That was the only time that I allowed him to speak. I make a way. He spoke on the radio, telling his supporters not to come on protest. He said that was not the end of the campaign. He's a non-violent man, and that was very peaceful. Everybody went peacefully. But yesterday, he said he did not sanction. And today, tomorrow, he told me, he said, Akwe, I've never told them to carry on violence. I told them, if you want to protest, yeah, it is all right, but don't disenfranchise other people.
So deductively, you're insinuating from your analysis now that he's aware of the protest.
Yeah, he's aware of the protest. He's aware of the protest.
Okay, Calabar, let's look at development. Lofa County is one of the. You see some development there. They are done there by the people themselves. You see some. Several areas. I see photos. I've not visited since 1999. No, 2000. So, Calabar, I'm seeing some lights. The thing about taking the photograph of street light in one place and posting it does not show that the entire county is electrified. People are saying, yeah, the government has electrified Lofa County. Lofa County is not Vonjama alone, or Vonjama alone is not Lofa County. Foya District alone is not Lofa County. At what level of electrification have you seen in the area?
It's so amazing to see because we have not had such a moving development like this over the past years. Because when you go to Foya at night, you see how the place is clear, Kolau, you go to Vonjama, Kwanebonde, Makedu, Samodu. And Masabola is now on the list for the next consignment of light. And they are moving towards Konya, Zozo, and Saraye. It's moving at at a movie, rare pace that we didn't even expect it to be that way. At night, my brother, you haven't been in Lofa for quite a while. In Vonjama, for example, at night, people, if I on 26 days, the police were running behind the student. The children said they are broken because the light they brought was reinforced with the one the president brought, so the street tents completely bright. And to show that things are moving, just yesterday, the mayor who headed the campaign for Joseph Boakai during the 2017 election resigned. He said because what he's saying, he has not seen that all the areas that he's going to.
He resigned. He resigned from the Unity Party.
From the Unity Party, Zuba agreed.
Zuba
agreed. Yeah.
Because sorry, Koliba, you're telling me now that because of the development that the government is carrying out now in Lofa County, the campaign chair for Joseph Juma Boakai in Lofa County, Zuba agree. Is it agree, right?
I agree.
Okay, I agree. So his vaccination, where is he headed?
He's headed for the CDC because I asked him yesterday, I saw tied down to a particular party who is party. He said he wants to join the CDC, to join hands with the government and beg the government and beg the people, to try to see how they can, how to help Lofa. He said what he has seen, because imagine that Momo Taylor, who was one of the strongest, or if not the strongest man for Joseph Boakai in Foya district, also turned over and decided to support President William bid for 2023. And if I just receive a brand new pickup for the first thing, you will tell me, say, nephew, I was campaigning for the past 12 years for the Unity Party. I did not even own a motorbike. Can you imagine that? I did not own it. That's what he told me. He said, I did not own a motorbike. And they gave me a JVC brand new vehicle. To him. So he has the power now to move from district to district. He said sometimes he just sit on motorbike, chat on motorbike to move from place to place was like a mockery.
From your observation, Koliba, you think that the CDC is gradually breaking through Lofa County, unlike next election, if you were to predict, given what is doing right now in the county there, what do you think will happen in terms of result?
The result will be overwhelming because you look at Julia Fatoma, who is the representative from the Vahu, has already turned over to CDC. Mariam Fofana says she will support George Weah second bid. Then you have
Mariam Fofana.
Yeah, and then we have.
When did she say that?
Oh, that is all in the district. Leave that. She made that statement right here, and the people, in fact, anybody is more welcoming. For the CDC than any other district right now. Kwanibone, which is Mariam Fofana district. Mariam Fofana district is embedded with in Vonjama district, but the population in Kwanibone is huge. So almost because you have second on that side too. Just imagine when Mayor Jefferson Kojo went to Kwanibone, the crowd that gathered there tells you that the people are moving gradually. What happened is that people are complaining. One, let me just make this clear, because you hear later on the radio, you're going to commit it. They said they voted the United Party because of Joseph Boakai. And then Joseph Boakai, one thing Joseph Boakai understand that there's no employment opportunity here, but he took a farm and care to bomb it. That's one issue they have with him. Now, one issue they have with him. Then the raw issue.
The former vice president does not have a farm in Lofa County?
No, not at all.
His farm is in Bomi County?
In Bomi County.
And that's where his wife hails from, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
Then the second issue about they both involved for the southeastern region. I don't know whether it's 85,000 or 83,000. They said the people said we are suffering for roads. We only need one yellow machine. I need to be passing the road. But then you talk about $83,000, especially in southeastern. Yes, we agree that he don't want to be the president for only Lofa, but this is his base. He should make a mark here. The people, if you listen to local radio, you feel that things are changing. Things are actually changing. Yes, things are changing. Vonjama, I travel to these places and I listen to the people, listen to the radio, local radio, chorus. Even the chiefs, people will say, oh, they are coerced. No, they are not being coerced. No fear, not like that. No fear, not being coerced. No. Things are actually changing. If anybody doubt it, let them sit there, because you can speak from the president visit. People doubted the ability of the Lufia to pull a crowd. And from that crowd, from that moment, things have changed in the country.
Okay.
Believe it.
So, Koraba, quickly, I gotta let you go now and move on to another development. So, calm has returned to Lofa County. Calm has been restored, by the way.
On the young people say, look, we agree that we all are aggrieved, and we want to make sure, even the senator on the radio, let the government or the court clear cut it. If some guy will not be certificated, so be it. If you be certificated, do it now. Let us move to another stage.
Okay. Thank you so much, Koraba. It's always a pleasure having a conversation with you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Yeah. Koraba Akwe there, he's a journalist in Lofa County. We're going to take the president's song briefly and make some little adjustment and get back to you. In now to what should I say, in the Omega market, in the Omega market, right? I have a video for you that a journalist friend of mine, shot. And we're just going to play it shortly for you. But before that, we have to listen to the president's song briefly. Mama Rita, we'll come back. I just want to do some little adjustment at the background and get back to you. But in the Omega market, women and business people, I don't want to, just make it specific that the women that are calling for this thing before it becomes somehow offensive. Business people, the marketers, they are asking the president to build them motels. Why are they requesting for motels instead of recreation centers for their children, or schools in the area there for the children to go to school? After school, they get right back in the market and assist them and then get back home after business. But instead, they're calling for motels. We're going to come back shortly.
Oh, Rastafari. So reggaeton that. Pleasant greetings to you, Mama Rita. I wish you it happened and a glorious birthday. The one blow, ja, Rastafari. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. It's a birthday. Hello, 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 hello. Ja, Rastafari. We gonna party, we gonna jump. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Yeah, man. So rock it tonight. One love, one heart. Let's get together right and feel alright. On your birthday, we say one love, one heart. Let's get together and celebrate you, Mama Rita. We Nana. Oh, I miss you, Mama Rita. I wish you happy birthday, long life and prosperity. Ja, Rastafari. So reggaeton that. God bless you, Mama Rita Queen Nana. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Mama Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. May Jah keep you. Oh Lord, may Jah guide you. Oh Lord, Mama Rita, Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Happy birthday to the Queen, Mama Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Rastafari. Come on. It's your birthday. Enjoy it. Me say, ja, Rastafari. So reggaeton that. Pleasant greetings to you, Mama Rita. I wish you a happy and a glorious birthday. The one blow, Jah Rastafari. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. It's a birthday. Hello, 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 hello.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.1, and we have back on the line Koloba Akwe. I had to bring Koloba back because had to disturb the Honorable Brani Samuka to hear from him whether the recent protest in Lofa County is aware of it. What Koloba Akwe said in his analysis is that, you know, before the president could visit Lofa, he spoke with the honorable man, and then he found out about protest action and so and all of that. People were planning to protest. In his words, he said, the honorable said to him, well, the people have their right to protest, but he's not a violent person. But the recent protest, what did Koloba Akwe actually say that maybe I did not get right? Koloba, welcome back. Koloba, you know, the recent protest, this protest, did you reach out to the senator-elect, or you spoke with him some time ago regarding planned protest action by his supporters?
No, I've always said that, even this morning I said again that whenever I speak to Honorable Samuka, he has always said that he's not a man of violence. He would never sanction any violence, but the people have the right. The people have the right to protest. But he has always said that he would not sanction any violence. And the recent protest, you were asking me if he's aware of it. I said, well, from what is going, I believe he's knowledgeable, but he has always seen that is now a matter of violence.
So what you're saying, you know, just quickly, is that he did not sanction the protest, but he's aware that people have planned to protest.
Well, if you look at it critically, because we have not gotten any public statement from him. So you and these are his direct supporters. Believe in my mind. Being on the ground and hearing what the people say, I believe he's aware that maybe there'll be protests, but he's not in a note of violence. I don't think so.
Okay, Koloba Akwe there from Lofa County. But we have Abbas Biate, chair of the Friends of Brani Samuka. Abbas, welcome. Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abbas. Welcome. You want to take on Koloba Akwe? Is the Honorable Brani Samuka aware of the just ended protest in Lofa County?
Brani Samuka, for the record, has no idea, absolutely whatsoever. The action yesterday is an action of the people of Lofa County, and that action did not come as a surprise because it was announced many times. There was a press statement. It is the people. We don't need Brani Samuka to tell us to do what we need to do. It is our constitutional right to respond to those that are affecting us. So what happened in Lofa County yesterday has happened whatsoever.
Okay, so one thing that Koloba Akwe, the local journalist there, you know, he's critically analyzing is that since the act has not made any public statement condemning any form of violence in Lofa County.
What is it there to comment? What is it there to condemn? Were there burning of properties to step on anyone?
No. It's
no constitutional violation. Why should Brani condemn it? This is patronage. People should not be making those kinds of reckless statements. What, are you saying that the citizens are now tied up to an individual? Is that what they're saying? Are they saying we cannot no longer express our views? Is that what they're saying? Come on now. We don't need anyone. And nobody needs to condemn what was done yesterday because it was not done outside of the law. It was done exactly within the ambience of the law. So if anyone feels injurious about it, let them go to court.
Abbas, the administrative building in Vunjama was besieged by the people, and one of the secretaries of the commissioner, I'm told, also joined the protest. He led the protest. So these action to some extent prevented the smooth working activities.
It is absolutely untrue. It is untrue. Yes, it was said by the protester, yes, that they locked the administrative building. That was to call the attention of the leadership. And indeed, when the leadership came, you remember the superintendent called on the OKFM that I was sitting in my office, the people are peaceful people. So why are they trying to take the discussion out of context? The subject matter here is the people are in demand of the senator that they elected by law, and therefore they are asking the senator to be certificated unconditionally. So people should not shift the debate from the core issue here. That's it. So we're not concerned about what somebody feel or somebody have an opposite view of the people expressing their right. Yes, if you violate the right of others, yes. It is understandable, but nothing of such was done.
Well, so, Abbas, have you been able to gather why 7 of the protesters were arrested? And, yeah.
Exactly like you said, because someone wants to use power or because someone thinks they have power under their control, so they sit in one corner and say, you know what, arrest those people. That's just it. Because there was no violation. You say, okay, you arrest the people because they went and siege to a public building. By the way, that building is over there because of the people of Lofa. So if they have come there to call your attention and you came, they allow you to go to function, then what's the debate? If you were prevented from going to work, then you have a claim. But nothing of such was done. All that was done was to call your attention, and which was done in a peaceful and orderly manner. So then, why are you arresting the people? They arrested the people, and then later on, and we sent people there. We're even told that some of them were being beaten in prison.
Okay, Abbas,
like they did yesterday here in Monrovia. Abbas, because they have power, they go ahead misusing power, and we will not accept it. They have to be very careful, and we just released a statement right now. I will send you a copy of the statement. If our people are not released, we will amalgamate forces across the 11th district of Lofa County to resist whatever action they have carried on in Lofa County yesterday against our people. We are very clear on that.
Isn't that deductively a confirmation that you are aware of the protest yesterday?
What do you mean if I'm aware? I just told you that we, the citizens of Lofa County, organized the protest.
Okay, now
asking me about whether I'm aware.
Abbas, quickly now, because we don't have the luxury of time, would you mind being my guest this afternoon from 3 to 4 on Nothing to Hide, so we can talk more about that?
Absolutely, I have no problem. I will definitely be there.
It's an open invitation. Thank you so much, Abbas.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's Abbas Biete. Abbas Biete is the chair of the Friends of Brandon Samuka. Let's go to Omega. Market women there are saying, market women and men, some of the business people that are saying President Joshua should build them motels. Why are they requesting for motels? Listen to this.
We hope to hear. So we don't know what this entails. We hope to hear. We don't know what this entails. We hope to hear. So we don't know what this entails. We hope to hear.
Carrasco, you're responsible, the press. When people are putting water in their own drainage, it's not a good thing. Carrasco, you're responsible, the press. When people are putting water in their own drainage, it's not Carrasco, you're responsible, the press. When people are putting water in their own drainage, it's not a good thing.
That's right. When people are putting gutters in their own drainage, that's not my takeaway. My concern there is that what does Carrasco, the presidential aide, have to do with road maintenance? Carrasco, you're responsible. The press, the president is inviting the press to help him maintain the road, monitor the road, so that people cannot put water in the drainage. But what is Carrasco's responsibility in the maintenance of road in this country? Now, I'm asking this question because you said, Mr. President, that we should not judge you by the quality, the eloquence of your speeches, but by the quality of your decision. That place, the statement you made was a decision you made to say to someone that you are responsible to maintain this road. And who were you referring to? Your presidential aide to maintain the road and the media. Anyway, let's have a conversation. Call us now on the numbers 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. We apologize, for your time. We had a lot of your time, but we're going to go, overboard up to 8, maybe 8:05 or 8:10. And we usher in the young man, Eric Paulo Collins, there about there, 8:15, 8:20 there. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Natalia.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Natalia, before I got to a talking point, let me first of all deal with the situation that has to do with a journalist in Fonjaman. You see, your journalists were contradicting yourself. Sometimes he'll tell you, say, yes, Brother Samaka approved and he informed and what have you. Later on, when you call him back, he slipped. He turned around telling all different things. Look, let me tell you something. I don't care. Some of us, I told you that I had one of the wild platform discussion in Lofa. Why journalists are online? My phone on what they were communicating with Pro Info District. It's complete contradiction.
Okay.
No Chinese, how to call it, what has to do with solar system. Those are not things that people will see in Lofa, that things that everybody will be for you. All right? In politics, you'll see people that will be moving from one point to another. And we have to welcome that, and that is beauty of our democracies. But that does not mean that people can actually control over Lofa County. And to the Omega Tower, the Omega people are calling for motel. I don't know why they're calling for motel. Friday, the women are not no longer making business, so they want to do otherwise. I'm sorry to say this on your medium this morning, but why the people be calling for motel? And you can't put water.
You listen to Calabar. As quickly jump in and provided some clarity as well. But even there was a little bit of little contradiction that I noticed as well. So the public is very smart to notice that. But going to Omega Market, women. And let's talk to this person. Let's hear this person. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Call us in the numbers 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. So the women that our mothers, our brothers and fathers, in fact, in Omega Market, doing petty business, small business. Most of them, the entire business they have on the table is got, if you put their entire money, their business money somewhere around maybe $5,000. Maybe the highest would be $15,000, $20,000. Yeah. And you went there to do business to get back home and educate your children. You have your children in school, and your children listen to you calling on the radio, request the president of your republic to build you motels. So what are you going to be doing with the motels? Don't you have a home? Don't you have beds in your houses to sleep? Are you going to be living in the motels? So what is the interpretation of people calling for motels in a particular area? At what level of insanity has our society reached that publicly people are requesting their leader to build motels for them when they stay complaining over there, when Florida is still giving them difficulty? Snake just bit somebody and the person died in the same Kobachop area. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Good. For the issues of Omega, I do not want to too much dive into that because there are many business, and the lady who spoke covering that is not cross sections of the market people. It's a view and how you feel, because there are different people who are the market, and the red light area back there, they usually have sub motel hotel there where they do some of the, when they go do their selling, they sell 2 times, something like that. Other people do
sell 2 times there.
So I don't want to too much go into that.
Go ahead now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the issues of Lofa County, the guy spoke and said that Brownie Samukai should be certificated unconditionally. What is he trying to say? You want to invade justice? When the man is convicted, then you say they should certificate him. With the Lord have been cited every day on the radio that this man, when you commit this, you must pay this before your right is restored, and he does not have any right. And more to that. For the brother to say the way say that Brownie Samukai is a non-violent person, I want to dismiss that. If you're a non-violent person, what happened to the black barrier? They kill people in this country. That's non-violent person.
What do you mean by black? What do you mean by black bearer?
What?
No. I'm sorry, guy. We're not going to go that route. We're talking about current event. We're talking about what is happening now. Anyway, let's move on to this other person. Let's hear from another person. Call us in the numbers 0777 107 0777 221 223. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. This is DJ Lumet from Corway, the old people friend.
Mr. Lumet, go ahead.
Thank you very much for your talking point this morning. What I'm interested in, the one that came from Lofa. Look, there is no way. I'm not seeing anybody we Lufian will look at our uncle and take somebody ahead of our uncle. That thing I mean, we're talking this morning, I was just listening to him laughing. They got to promote themselves. They are looking for jobs. And they need somewhere to get a daily bread from. Normally, as you can see, in the House of Parliament, you saw all the representatives, senators crossing over to Honorable Bouaka because that was the ruling party. You expect the same thing. Now, President, we have the CDC is the ruling party. The Haja Fatimata, all of them, they will go. But at the end of the day, we know what will happen. If they lost, then they want to come back. And these people, they are not serious politicians in this country. Any serious politician will want to get there where they come from, the one of another place where it could that everybody will live there and be happy. But they only want to for they and the family to be happy. So you see them crossing. So that is now a strange thing. So the only thing I'm seeing here to the Liberian people, let them hold our peace. The people in Lofa County, hold our peace. Go with a peaceful protest. Don't embarrass nobody. Give them the freedom to go to their offices. And let them to do the thing until 2023.
Okay.
Or we go on our side would be better. Thank you this morning, my brother.
Thank you. Thanks for your contribution as well. Let's join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news. After that, we come back. We'll open the lines again. We'll maintain the conversation with you after the 5 minutes of news from the Voice.
I'm Steve Miller in Washington. Be well and have a great day.
This is VOA News reporting by remote. I'm Marco Brown. The Philippines says it has fully restored a major security agreement with the United States. President Rodrigo Duterte retracting his intentions to terminate the Philippines-U.S. Visiting Forces Agreement late Thursday. Duterte retracted the termination letter sent to the U.S. last year after meeting with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who told reporters the agreement with the Philippines helps the U.S. long-range planning. Analysts say access to the Philippines puts the U.S. in a position to rapidly respond to threats from China and the South China Sea. They say it also bolsters U.S. counter-terror and intelligence gathering in the region. U.S. President Joe Biden announced Thursday civilian federal government workers must be vaccinated or submit to regular testing and wear masks. The strict guidelines are aimed at boosting sluggish vaccination rates among the 4 million Americans who draw federal paychecks and to set an example for private employers around the country. Biden's decision comes as the Delta variant of the virus that causes COVID-19 is rapidly across the country. The president said the same standards will apply to federal contractors. Biden said he is asking the Department of Defense to explore how and when to add mandatory inoculations for the coronavirus to the list of vaccines required for service personnel. The president suggested more state and local governments to offer $100 to those who get fully vaccinated. The president also said his medical advisors say there's no need for a booster shot right now. He says that if one is needed, that something will be done. This is VOA News. Israel's prime minister announced that his country will offer a coronavirus booster to people over 60 who have been vaccinated. Thursday's announcement by Naftali Bennett makes Israel the first country to offer a third dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine to its citizens on a wide scale. Bennett said the decision was based on considerable research and analysis, as well as the rise and risk of the Delta variant. The decision comes at a time of rising infections and concerns that the vaccine's efficacy dwindles over time. Israel's President Isaac Herzog will be the first to get the booster on Friday. It will be offered to the general public beginning Sunday. A long-delayed Russian laboratory module docked with International Space Station Thursday, but hours later, the Russian lab knocked the orbiting station out of position when the lab's thrusters accidentally fired. It took mission controllers nearly an hour to reposition the International Space Station. The space station program manager said no damage was identified and there was no immediate danger at any time to the crew. The new Russian module will require many operations, including up to 11 spacewalks beginning in September. The U.S. Navy said Thursday that it's charged a sailor with starting a fire last year that destroyed a warship docked in San Diego, California. Authorities say the sailor was a member of the crew at the time. No other details were provided, and it's unclear what evidence was found or what the motive was. The amphibious assault ship was nearing the end of a 2-year upgrade at an estimated cost of $250 million when the fire broke out last July. More than 60 sailors and civilians were treated for minor injuries, heating and smoke inhalation. And in other news, just recapping our top story. In the Philippines, signing an agreement with the United States on the termination of that joint agreement with the U.S. And in Ecuador this week, a defrocked former cardinal is the first in the United States to be criminally charged with a sexual crime against a minor. Former Cardinal McCarrick charged with sexually assaulting a teenage boy back in the 1970s, according to court documents obtained by the Boston Globe. By remote, I'm Michael Brown, VOA News.
Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. In a break.
And that's right, Liberians, wake up, let's do something new. I give you 10 more minutes. Let's have a conversation. Those of you who you've been following the analysis we've been making on some of the issues here. So you didn't have the luxury of time because we ate most of your time. So 10 minutes for you now. And at 8:15, we start the conversation with our guest, Mr. Ambassador. Is Ambassador Eric Paulo Collins. He's a resident of Montserrat County, District number 15. He thinks that the lawmaker is underperforming. There are a lot of challenges in the district that need to be addressed. He's going to be telling us more. And he's also ambitious to become a representative of that district. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Matayo. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Philip calling you from Kinso Factory.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, concerning the topic, this thinking from me to the senator elect from Lofa County. Because the senator elect, the issue that behind him, the money actually it was not used on his children's school fee or his rental or any of the activities. But the money was used by instruction given to him by his boss during his time. Why the government of Liberia keep punishing the man, keep putting pressure on the man? Madam Ellen Johnson is here. Why they can't call her? The government scared of her to call her and to ask from her concerning the money being there. Why is a problem? They want the man to pay the money from his pocket. Is it right? Why they doing that one to that man? It's very wrong. Must not behave like that. The woman that give the instruction to the man to use the money, the woman here. Why the government can't ask? Can't bring her in and acquire from her? Actually, it's very wrong, man.
Thank you so much for your contribution on the program this morning. Let's hear from another person too. Call us on the numbers 0777 107 0777 221 223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.1. Today is the 30th day of July 2021. If it is your birthday, happy birthday. If you're going through some difficulties, I want to say take solace in the Lord. Trust me, something is going to happen, in your life shortly. But let's hear from this other person on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, Mr. Harris. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition. David E. Harris are calling from a resident this morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Matthias, on the issue of Granny Stamuka, I think this government are paying the amount in question when they came to power. I think according to sources, they have paid, I think, 400,000 plus of that amount.
Yeah.
They are not certificated this elected senator to be seated. I think Matthias, the CDC, the only language you understand is protest. The only thing I'm calling on the Lufian that it should be peaceful in their protest. The next issue has to do with the health minister, Matthias. I mean, this is my first time hearing that the virus symptom has not turned to people being turned into blue, green, or yellow, or their lips. My first time hearing that. So I think they will have to come out and better explain to us this better. Thank you this morning.
Thanks for your contribution on the program. And I read that also on, what should I say, on the CDC website, the Center for Disease Control, that, the level at which the virus, if you have it, the level at which it's going to reach to ensure that you hurriedly get to seek emergency medical attention is when you notice that sometimes your lips, instead of being pink, turning black and all of that, your palms also changing color, gray and blue and all of that. So let's hear from this other person. So that is confirmed. Except that it's something that it must reach to a certain level, but I don't think we have had in a case like that. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
I'm Peter McCollin, member of the National Response and Defense of President John Manuel. Matthias, thank you very much for the topic of the discussion. But let me say this. You see, we have the regulation and law that governing every citizen in this country. That is the Supreme Court, that with any grievance you have, to the court. And then justice will be served. But we all were in this country, and we in a country that we heard that Bernie Samuka was using the form what was directly for our brother we refer to as AFL, different direction. And the court came out with a ruling saying you are convicted as a criminal. But then I'm hearing that some citizens in Lofa County protest yesterday.
Yeah, they protested.
they protested yesterday in 3 different areas in Lofa. And why are those opposition are complaining, say the rule of law is not set in this government? Why? Because someone killed one of Matra, say June 6, I know June 7 was a protestation for them concerning that 16th period got missing. Because they wanted justification of the 16th period that got missing. But then you are talking about justice, then you say somebody who are already convicted of that Friday 7 phone that were in the interest of some of our brothers and sisters that serve in the country, defend the country. Then you saying that they must certificate the type of person. Some of us we on the fence saying, no, that justice is a court. If we bring Samuka carefree, he will be certificated. But if so, then we'll go for one re-election.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Macaulay. Thanks for your contribution on the program, Mr. Macaulay. Do we have somebody? Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias, and good morning to the people of Liberia.
Good morning.
In particular.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Seven. I call from Oman Estate.
Go ahead, sir.
This morning, there's something in the fact that he said, Mr. Samuka said he is not a violent person. This clearly indicates for a thing, the check for a thing, that said, oh, they are issuing this, or else there will be protests all over in the country. You think that August well for the country? Do you think that man is from the country? That you will sit in Russia and see you protest all over the country?
Who may you asking whether he's from Lofa County?
The guy you killed, too.
Okay, Abbas is a Lofian, so forget about his origin. So he's from Lofa County.
This kind of message that you could preach. The one that people saying Christian for to kind of go to school to preach this message for the Lofians. That's the kind of thing that you could preach.
But did you listen to him, carefully? Because, yes, sir.
He said Brandon Samuka is not a violent person. And for the indication for the of the thing, tell us that Honorable Brandon Samuka organized this protest. They organized the protest and equip the people to go and cause havoc in Baltimore.
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution on the program. We have to pause the calls. Do we have somebody there? We have one person. We can take one more person. We have our guest already. But let me read out this comment here. Musu Kopo said, as a daughter of a market woman, I can understand why those market women are requesting for the construction of motels. Red Light Market is a hub for retail and wholesale. Marketers and farmers bring goods from the hinterland and foreign countries to Red Light. At times, they don't sell all their goods and need somewhere to sleep. Not everyone has family members or friends in Montserrat to sleep with. So that's why they're asking for motels. That's your own contribution, right? KR Patrick C said, my visionary president, Nas song. KR loves this song, Mama Rita. Abubakar Kava said, you don't need motels, but a playground for your children. He's quoting me. Sam Walker is following, and Hilton Wulajedo, Propo Defender is following from Looking Town. And that's all the time we have for the interaction with you this morning. Mr. Samuka, Brandon Samuka, by the way, the friends of Brandon Samuka are going to be joining us this afternoon by 3 to 4 o'clock to talk about the situation there in Lofa County and talk about how we can amicably handle this situation. And so, but you listen to the reporter, from the county, and when he came back for the second time, you listen to his own, analysis as well. So let's quickly join Mr. Ambassador Eric Palop Collins. He's a resident of Montserrat County, District number 15. He's here to give us a panoramic view of the district. How is District 15? How is the representative? We are told that today the representative is going to be putting out his district report, making a report to the people, something that is constitutional, he must do. And Eric is here maybe to critique that report already before it comes out, to tell the public about how the district is being run by Mr. Abu Kamara, a CDC lawmaker. Eric, good morning and welcome to Straight from the Heart. I hope you speak to us from your heart directly.
Good morning, Matthias.
Welcome.
And let me say good morning to the Sky FM family. Good morning to the people of District 15, and good morning to the people of our beloved country, Liberia.
How is District 15?
Well, the district is well on course in terms of our day-to-day activities. The only thing is there are issues with regards to leadership, and that's the reason for which we are here to talk about some of those issues.
There are issues.
We are there, we are living, we are managing by God's grace.
There are issues, you know, regarding leadership in the district, meaning you have what at a scale of 0 to 9, how do you rate the representation, the leadership of your district as far as representation is concerned?
Yeah, my honest grading will be 3.
From 0 to 10?
Sure.
You rate Honorable Kamara 3?
That's an honest grading because I live in the district. That's where I reside currently, and I follow the day-to-day happenings in the district.
All right, do a summary for us. Give us a brief summary, then we're going to get to some specifics.
Okay, so I would like to begin on this note.
Wouldn't mind. Put it there.
And I think as a journalist, you follow the process in 2019, the elections that brought Representative Abu Kamara to power. And that election was characterized by a series of disruption, specifically between supporters of Representative Abu Kamara and that of Teda Yuri at the time, because seriously injured and properties were destroyed.
Yeah.
And so for us, we saw reconciliation as the first major step to achieve what we hope to achieve as a district. So after the elections, the lawmaker was the one who should have led the process for reconciliation. And that reconciliation we are driving. But it will interest you to know that even up to present, as I speak to you, the lawmaker has been one of these persons at the forefront championing the cause. So that's the reason
let's
for
start. Why you summarizing, right? Why you giving the summary? Let's be injecting some things, right? Quickly. So, talk about reconciliation.
Yeah.
So you're saying, despite all the reports that we gather from District 15 during the election, the district lawmaker has not called for any reconciliation with Teda Yuri. Anyone they've not smoked peace pipe. Is that what you're saying?
Nothing of such. And I'm aware. I was in the district when the lawmaker called a meeting. The first meeting he said it was intended for reconciliation, and this is my problem.
But you said the lawmaker has not initiated anything.
Yeah, I said meeting, but when I talk about reconciliation, I mean true and genuine reconciliation.
But he called a meeting that centers around reconciliation.
Yeah, you call a meeting and you leave major political actors all of the meeting. And so is that really reconciliation?
Who are those in attendance? Who are those you expected to be in attendance that you didn't see?
Like you said, Teda Yuri, Amos Tubo, Laminu Chape Kamara, Erasmus Famules. Those were people who participated in elections, who have followers, and people who were disenchanted, people who were affected directly or indirectly by those violent actions. So when you call those political leaders, they too have the followers. They are going to smoke peace pipe and prevail on the followers to ensure that we can put aside our differences and move ahead. You left political actors or you serve a citation or notice on the social media. How many persons were in attendance of the meeting? No, not many prominent citizens.
Did you attend the meeting?
I attended the meeting because I saw it. Like I said, I saw the message on the social media, and I was very curious. And somebody who support reconciliation, I went to the meeting.
Give us a picture of some of the things that were discussed.
A picture of the meeting. Yeah. We have people from the district council who were set up by the council that was set up by the representative. But the meeting was not actually reconciliatory, because reconciliatory meeting people should be able to express their dissatisfaction or disappointment with regard to the process and say, let's move forward. You don't entertain questions, no comment. Representative can speak. He threw political jab at critics. He said people lashes him on the social media, people criticizing, and we are just wasting our time. And how do you go reconciliation meeting with such mindset, not entertaining the views of people who have problem with you during elections? So we saw that as not how you call it, not true and genuine reconciliation. We asked some of those hard questions to the chief of office staff. Why is it this major political actor left out of the process?
You asked the question to the chief of office staff instead of the lawmaker who was in the meeting. You couldn't ask the lawmaker.
The lawmaker did not avail himself. I'm saying right after he spoke to us, he left.
In the meeting,
he said he had another engagement. So,
but according to you, this meeting was called for reconciliation.
Reconciliation,
all right. So the lawmakers he made a statement.
He was given
he just made a statement.
Yes,
but questions now were directed to the chief of office staff.
and we are not seeing major political actors, community influential religious. No genuine an excuse for that. Oh, we served the notice. We know the reason for which the people did not come. And how can you say you don't know the reason? So on one occasion, we saw Tera UA. And Tera UA said, I speak to you up to present. Nobody from the office of the representative has invited me for reconciliation. Amos Tubo, I served as director for media and public affairs for Amos Tubo in the election. Amos Tubo was not served any notice for reconciliation. So today, as I speak to you, the district is challenged. The district is not progressing.
Let's deal with unity. So the district is divided right now.
I'm saying so. Yeah. And the reason for which is because there's no unity. Almost all of the activities in the district, they're centralized just around the resident where the lawmaker live. To understand, even Carwell, that is part of the district, have been omitted for almost all of the district activities.
I saw the lawmaker in terms of community, some time ago, after the election, he took some dirt in there and think, I don't know how to grade the road and think now this.
It was last week.
Except that
it was last week.
Except that, well, the ring is coming. That's why it's affecting the road a little bit. So if you say Cardwell is abandoned, then I don't know where you come from to say it's abandoned.
It was last week.
Was in that particular.
Well, Matthias, aren't you aware that there's a movement in Cardwell that is currently advocating for Cardwell to be an electoral district?
That is the right of the people. Does it mean that it's because of the lawmaker? That's why they are calling for the township to be a district?
If you think the district are adequately represented and Cardwell was included in almost all of the decision-making process, you think the guys will be taking the route they are taking? It is because of honor representation, or what we call poor representation. Because if you have one district that is unified, reconciled, and tranquil, no need for other segment in the district to say, no, we want to be a district on our own because we are not feeling the impact of our representation. So that speaks to the fact that the lawmaker, he's not really representing.
So you agree that you provided misinformation right now to the public that the lawmaker has abandoned Cardwell when I just give you an evidence that he visited Cardwell he impacted.
I'm saying last week, because prior to his visit, the death he's raising, it was some of our public okra, specifically the Bar Road edition, because I've been visiting Cardwell and I saw photos. But like I said, from the overall, he took charge of the district since 2019 September. What has been his involvement in Cardwell? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Almost every time you are in Lockington, even on one occasion, he had a football tournament. He said reconciliation. But how can you call a reconciliation tournament? Only communities from Lockington were part of that process. Cardwell was not involved.
Okay.
So it was last week. It was only because of public okra. Probably he had been following some of the comrades, like Edwin Corner, Malima Tuni, and other guys who have been advocating for Cardwell to be a district. And he decided to come on now to see how best he can cover it up. But he had not really been involved with the people of Cardwell.
Let's look at the lawmaker you have in terms of, everyone will look clearly, will use whatever lenses they can use to ensure that they watch the performance at the level of the legislature, right? So what have you heard? What have you seen in terms of his posture, in terms of his activities, his engagement with his fellow lawmakers? What have you seen?
And I want to say this.
Yeah.
Representative Abu Kamara is the least in terms of performing lawmakers at the national legislature.
I wonder what the people of District 14 will say, because they have raised some concerns.
And I want to premise that based on the ARA report. And I think you are aware of ARA, the Institute of Research and Democratic Development.
Right.
ARA is a legitimate, recognized, and accredited institutions. Come up with legislative annual grading of lawmakers in respective of their cardinal with respect to their cardinal responsibility. ARA report consistently, Representative Kamara, he has consistently scored F in terms of lawmaking, oversight, and representation. You are a journalist. Your station have legislative reporters. Except you prove me wrong on how many occasions Representative Kamara have been in the news in terms of speaking to issues of national concern at the national legislature. He has been taxed on specifically because he hails from the ruling establishment, and he has choose to work at the way and pleasure of the executive branch of government, which is very wrong. You have three separate branches of government. They coordinate, work together, but in terms of decision, they are independently working. You are the national legislature. You went there to make law. You went there to exercise oversight and represent your people. Since September 2019 up to present, I want to say this. It was only on one occasion, and it was not even a significant issue. I heard Representative Kamara at the national legislature. He was throwing jab at Senator Darius Dillon with regards to academic credential and a whole lot. But it was not even germane issues in the interest of his constituents. No single paper emanating from the angle of a legislature in terms of bill, we talk about law or whatsoever, being co-sponsored to that. Nothing of such. Using your oversight responsibility to ensure probably maybe if there's a challenge with the educational system, maybe it's a challenge with the health sector, the security sector, the issue about electricity currently, even in your district, where you can prevail on some of the government agencies or ministry to ensure that they can live up to their commitment as a lawmaker. Nothing of short.
Oversight. Let's go ahead.
I'm saying the lawmaker had dismally performed, but he cardinal responsibility at the national legislation.
Let's look at the issue of oversight, right? You talk about education, electricity, and all of that. I've heard a lot about this lawmakers, scholarship initiative benefiting a number of students in the district. Is that a fact?
That is at the district level. And I wonder if
isn't that part of oversight?
No, what I'm saying, we'll get to that, but I just wanted to wrap up his legislative engagement because I want to drop down to the district engagement.
Go ahead.
So, like I said earlier, at the national legislature, Representative Abu Kamara is a failure. He has been receiving salary and not doing what he was elected for. Trust me, Matthias, why will you be presenting your first annual legislative report since 2019? You say that today you presented a report for 2 years consecutively.
The report is going to be presented today.
He said today. I don't know.
How did you get the information when it's not a man who communicates with you people?
I got the information from the chief of office staff. He made an appearance on Joy FM 2 weeks ago.
He announced about a district report on the radio.
Public okra. He said the report will be all by today, and that report will be online because of the COVID-19 situation.
Collins, can you be honest, by the way, as you've been, right?
Yeah.
Has there been any communication emanating from the office of the representative informing the district residents that we're going to be giving you your report today? Because of COVID-19, we're not going to be having it at a town hall, but we're going to be doing it on a radio so that you can tune in at XYZ time and listen. Has there been any communication? Did Mr. Tuba receive it? Amos Twe, Taylor Ure, because all these people are district residents.
To be honest, I'm saying that information was conveyed to residents of District 15 on the media, on the radio, by the chief of office staff, Phil Farley. And at that time, he was on Joy FM Live. When he was questioned by the journalist, it was when he said, the report will be in segment, we are challenged COVID-19. And so the report will be up by the 30th of July. And that report will have the link online where people can go and access, but the lawmaker will be on Banner FM from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, where he will be outlining most of those gains, the challenges, and the way. And so, which is today, like I speak to you now, they said today. But officially, like you said, serving communication, it has not been done. Now, I said you prove me wrong, but it has not been done. Nobody. I'm currently the chairman of one of the biggest civil society organizations in District 15, the Jamaica Intellectual Center. Besides, I'm the chairman of the District 15 Redemption Council. Our institution now received formal notice. Everything is just on the social media. So we are looking up to the lawmaker 2 years now. No annual legislative report. How do we believe? Now, coming to the district level, you talk about scholarship.
Oversight.
There have been fluctuation in the numbers of people on the scholarship of the lawmaker.
Is there a scholarship currently being run in the district by the lawmaker?
According to the lawmaker.
Can you confirm that?
I cannot authenticate that because there have been no valid proof to authenticate that.
What do you consider as a valid proof to authenticate?
When I talk about valid
program,
we have district office. You have an office of the district. At that office, residents of the district should be able to go at the district office to access information with regards to District 15. Go to the office of District 15, you cannot get no tangible information with regards to the progress of Representative Abu Kamara. Representative Kamara will be on radio and tell you that I have over 2,000 plus persons on my financial aid or scholarship program.
There's no way you can trace that information.
At another point in time, somebody from the office of Representative Abu Kamara will tell you that we have over 1,000 persons. The figure has not been specific. They have not been specific. So we are challenging public relations of people who are benefiting from your financial aid so that we can go and prove this information. Just come on the radio and say, yes, I'm paying 5,000 persons school fees. And you say, I should believe you.
And Eric,
go ahead.
You
display photo on social media with students. How does taking photo with students amount to paying financial aid for students? So it has raised eyebrows in the district with regards to what you're talking about financial aid. I'm saying that.
Again, I also want to confirm another information, right? Yeah. Because I need to do the devil's advocate here in the absence of Mr. Kamara's, communication people in the studio here with you.
Sure.
So I know of about 2 or 3 students that live in Cardwell that are benefiting, and they are in there's a school before reaching the Cardwell Bridge, Truvan Institute. Truvan Institute. They are students of the Truvan Institute, and they're benefiting from that scholarship. So, except that you're talking about a number that he usually pronounces, that maybe is around 2,000 people and all of that, but you cannot authenticate that. But for you to also say that you cannot confirm that there's a scholarship program being run, but that you mean to say that you are only hearing pronouncement, you cannot see the students, they are invincible. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not trying to negate the fact that there's no one benefiting from probably financial aid or because of the intake in figures from the lawmaker and his supporters. So that has raised a dark cloud for anybody to say you will be doubting. Yeah, let's agree, yes, the lawmaker can he can afford to even pay up to 2030. But because of the inconsistency in figures for people who are benefiting from the financial aid of the lawmaker, that has raised series of public outcry in the district. So this is the reason we have been challenging him. Publish the names of those that are benefiting from your financial aid, so that we can go to those institutions, authenticate that. Because you are make us to not believe in you now. One day you will come and say this, another point in time, your political officer in your office will come and say this, at another time, the chief of office will come and say this. But see, they figure are not being exact. And that's our issue of contention, because they are not being exact in terms of figure.
Let's look at the issue of interaction with people, with the public. I'm told that he uses his radio some of the time to throw jabs at you people. You know, the last time I saw a post from you, you said that he was on a program with one of my friends, Winston Bloody, and together, along with the lawmaker and Winston, they attack you personally when you phone in to make an import. I did not listen to that program. You are the one here on the radio. You're putting yourself on record. Tell us exactly the radio being used by the lawmaker. Is it used to benefit the district, or is it being used to satisfy his personal aggrandizement?
And I think the essence of that radio station was to serve as a PR arm of the lawmaker.
Which is not a bad thing, is it?
It's not a bad thing, but I think we should accept people of opposing view on such a platform, that everybody will not be in line. Like when I phone in, trust me, Winston Bloody did not me for a minute. I was caught up. How do you read my mind? What do you know I wanted to say on the radio? And so the lawmaker took almost all of the time just responding to me specifically on my ambition. That way I begin to believe that Representative Kamara is worried about my ambition to contest.
He's worried.
He's standing currently in District 15.
What for?
Specifically about my history from the youth and student community.
What is your force in terms of, you know, your constituency? What is your base?
I'm talking about my base is the youth and student community, not just in District 15, but Liberia.
On a percentage of 60, 70, what's the level, the number of young people you think you have in your district?
We have been hugely involved. So over 60%. I'm saying over 60%.
I mean, the overall population of the district, if you were to extract the youth from there, you think it'll be around how many? What's the percentage?
In the youth percentage, yeah, I'm telling you over 60. And the reason is,
and you have total control over that.
Prior to my involvement in advocacy politics, or what we call leadership issues, I have been a social person from the football background. I have lived almost all of my life in District 15. So my involvement with the people in the district, it speaks to the fact that I have good relationship. And premise on the fact that the lawmaker had this morning performed, and the people are looking for a better alternative. So they have been seeing me. I want two sons in the district, one young person who have been around, who have been consistently advocating on their behalf, making some intervention. And so if election were here today, I would be a preferred choice. The reason I'm saying this, other major political actors who participated in elections, they are not around.
They're not around
the people have discovered that after elections, they are being abandoned. You will see like Teda Ure, since the elections in 2019, Teda Ure nowhere around in District 15. Mr. Tuba is around. We don't know whether he have intention to contest, but nothing from his angle.
But when you say they are not around, what do you mean? They no longer live in the district, or they are not engaging with the people?
No, I'm not saying living in the district. You need to be involved. You are not accessible. Nobody know you.
So if you say Mr. Amos Tuba is around, how is he around? Is he visible? Is he engaging the people? What are some of the things he's doing?
He's around, but he's not been seen around in the district in terms of engagement. Okay. Because politics, it requires consistent engagement.
Yeah.
And even as an opposition figure in the district, you should be there to most often ensure that you can provide checkmate so that the lawmaker can know where he's hailing. Like I've been doing. When you saw Representative Abu Kamara in Caldwell looking at displaying photos on a road, it was because of some of us. because of our consistent engagement. Most often we display photo on the social media we engage in that this road, the condition of the road is very deployable, and he will act the next week. So that the road tell you Amos Tubo and other major actors who have been playing in the district, they are not playing that role. So we have stood in that gap consistently, and he have been worried.
And let me just say something to you that I've heard, right? That there's this information that, you know, Honorable Kamara does not even take you seriously as someone, contrary to what you're saying, that he's worried about your ambition, that he doesn't take you seriously as a young man who will even shake him in terms of election. Because after the election, some of you guys were in a scam. You were drinking, you were dining and whining with Representative Abu Kamara through his office. I'm informed with tangible evidence. That's why I'm bringing it to you to confirm that you people were receiving some stipend monthly, because there was a question asked, what do you want? Some people said they want to go to school. Some people said they wanted money, something, and you guys were receiving something around $20,000 Liberian dollars monthly. What can you say about that?
The first thing I would like to say, I have never supported Representative Abu Kamara before.
Yeah.
When the late lawmaker passed off, he called me and he asked for support. And I told him that I won't support him. It was after the election, and the first major interaction I had was with his chief of office staff. You know, in politics, it's not about enemyship with different issues, but what matters is our country or our district. So I was invited personally by the chief of office staff. I went at his residence. He lived Cowell, in a building where the Smart FM.
But you don't have to mention where he meant.
I want to say that for the record.
Please, that's not good. I beg you.
Okay, I will leave that up.
Yeah.
But purposely, he asked me. He said, "You have been one focused young man I've been following, and actually, I want us to work together in the district." And I told him, I mean no harm. Don't see me as an enemy to the lawmaker. But what happened? We want the right thing to be done. So the first recommendation I made to Mr. Phil Farley, I'm only ready to say that. I told Mr. Phil Farley, I said, if the district cannot be reconciled, we cannot make progress. After that meeting at the house, I invited him. He visited my forum in Jamaica where I said I was chairman. So when he made the appearance at that forum, he left 10,000 Liberian at the Jamaica Intellectual Center, not given to me, but given to the forum.
Okay.
Saturday. Sunday was the meeting at Gaglaw at the administrative building there that was secured by the late lawmaker, where we had our first reconciliation meeting. And after that
meeting that you said did not material,
yes. Okay. So that was the process. And after that meeting, consistently, he kept engaging me. And I told him, I said, what I want us to do, if Representative Kamara is actually working in the interest of District 15, I won't blame my ass to that reality. I will appreciate him for that. So I did a public post appreciating them for their intention for calling that first meeting, which of course we did not even achieve, but I appreciated them to tell them that I mean what I was saying. Number two, there was a counterpart approach between the office of the lawmaker and the Ministry of Public Works with the that you're talking about. I appreciated the office. But lately did I discover that the chief of office had different intention. He wanted to use me as somebody who will help Representative Kamara in the cyber space. Specifically, he talk about the social media.
Yeah.
What will come out every day. Oh, yeah, he's the best lawmaker. The way usually the sacrifice in Liberian politics. He's the best lawmaker ever in the history of District 15. Nobody have where are those empirical evidences to substantiate if I go tell somebody, say, this man is the best lawmaker in the history of District 15. So I said, Mr. Farley, I'm not prepared to go this route with you. And so at another point in time, when the lawmaker slipped, specifically with the district funds, the China Union County Social Development Fund,
20,000.
when we started to raise that red flag, it was when I saw some of his students, oh, you had issue. I said, but where's the evidence? If you got any evidence against me that I and the lawmaker ever had issue with regard to 20,000, like you said, or receiving any stipend from him, display with the exception of 10,000 that was given to Jamaica Intellectual Center.
That was when the chief of office staff attended.
So there have been none of such.
So, but you just talk about this, you and chief of office staff, you probably having some engagements and all of that. But during this engagement, there have been no golden handshake extended to you.
There have been none of such. Like I said, with the exception of the 10,000. I'm still challenging it.
All right. So now let's talk a little bit about your ambition. Eric, why do you want to become representative? You are, first of all, let me say something to you, right? I admire you a lot. You're a brilliant young man. I see that you go to, the university there, you provide free lecture sometimes for students who don't understand mathematics. That's a great one. I must thank you for that. I appreciate you so much. And I sit here sometimes, just use the social media. I follow all of you and read all the comments and everything that we are, because the social media now us to report ourselves to the world.
Sure.
And that's what you do. And thank you so much. Why do you want to be a representative?
I want to be representative first and foremost to do those things that are required of a lawmaker.
What are the things that are required?
To make law, to exercise oversight, and to represent your people.
And those are the things that
I have
Abu is not doing.
I have observed, not just representing Abu Kamara, but across the 73 electoral districts in our country. The level of lawmaking, oversight, and representation have been at the minimum level. So we need people who have come with a different understanding, with a different mindset, with a different style of engagement of the political happenings in this country. The first thing, most often when you see us pushing youthful agenda saying we are not too young to lead, if you follow the history of political independence or liberation in Africa and across the world, most often you will notice that young people were at the forefront of the cause of economic emancipation. If you follow the struggle history in South Africa, if you go to Cuba, if you go to France, other countries around the world, Guinea-Bissau, you will notice that there were young people who at that time who stood in a gap. But today in our society, we are young people. The young people in this country, they are only being used to chant slogans, to raise battle cry. The young people are coming around. The level of youthful representation at the national legislature have been at a minimum from 2005 to present. How many young persons of youthful age have been given the opportunity to serve at the national legislature? This is the reason for which you see the youthful population of this country, which is in majority, over 60%, has been abandoned to the extent that almost all of the young people in this country now are almost disadvantaged youth in this country. So we believe that our presence at the national legislature, not unilaterally, but with the consent of our colleagues at the legislature, we can shift the paradigm in leadership in this country.
If you were to become a representative of District 15 as a young man, given the fact that you said the overall population of your district, predominantly 60% are young people, what would be the first thing you will engage to ensure that the people in that district feel your representation?
The first thing, not just District 15.
I mean, let's deal with District 15 because you don't want to be a representative for all of the districts. You want to be a representative.
The reason why I'm saying not District 15, Matthias, you are aware that in Liberia we don't run a federal state. To just represent District 15, especially with the kind of system of government we're having, like we don't run a federal state.
How do you intend to be a lawmaker with our borders?
A lawmaker will ensure that you will enact laws or craft policies that will affect Liberia holistically. The situation with District 15 is not just unique to District 15, but it's unique to Liberia holistically. So I'm saying the issue about youth capacity building and empowerment is very paramount in Liberia.
Let's be specific. Youth capacity building and empowerment and all of that.
And
It can be just trade and all of that. What specific things that you think the young people will quickly get in terms of benefit, direct benefit, if you become representative in District 15?
To build a capacity with regards to technical and vocational area. That is very paramount now in Liberia. Because the reason why I'm saying, the number of young people you see that are just floating all around the streets, no occupation, nothing doing. Go and interview some of the people, carry a microphone. You'll notice that majority of the young people in the street, they have no career. They have nothing that they can rely on. If they say, let's leave the life that we are involved into, there's nothing sustainable. So in terms of building a capacity, we'll talk about technical and vocational education. That will help every young person in this country. If you have a young man in Liberia who is a professional masoner, if you have a young man who is a professional electrician, if you have a young man who is a professional carpenter, a young man who can lay tar, if you have the people now, if you build a capacity one way or the other, you have something and they can survive on that.
How do you intend to do that? Maybe let's put it in a period of maybe 1 year if you were to be elected.
True rehabilitation done just at the self-initiated lawmaker. This is why we want to partner. We can make a national program. Can we go at the national legislature and push that every district, electoral district in this country can have a standard technical and vocational institution that will have the MVDC, the 73 districts. Matthias, if you have 73 standard technical and vocational institutions in Liberia, trust me, with just in the period of 6 months to 1 year, there will be tremendous progress made. Because all across the district, everybody will not have to go to MVTC. That is the reason I always appreciate District 16 former representative Elder Ford. You see the institution you got in District 16, impact. But how many person can that institution take? So all of the districts can have.
And that's a private
one
institution,
of that.
by the way.
It's a private. Whether it will be private or it will be something public, you have it. One way or the other, people are going to benefit from that initiative. And so we can start the process from that. Because the youthful population, like we said, of this country in majority, in the next 5-10 years, who do you expect to take over the mantle of leadership of this country? It's the very young people who are floating all around the country. So if they are not prepared in terms of capacity, if they are not prepared to steer the mantle affairs of this country, where are we heading as Liberia? So as representative, my key interest or my key emphasis will be on youth capacity building and youth empowerment.
Have you started your consensus building already? Have you started, resource mobilization? Because 2023 is just a stone's throw from here.
We have started the process. I have gone far. And I have been making series of interventions in District 15, except you are not following.
Following everything.
COVID-19, I was hugely involved in District 15. I helped that district. We fought COVID-19. We provided awareness. We provided sanitary material for our people. We even provided some form of assistance that could sustain our people through the process.
Assistance like what? Be specific.
Yeah. When we talk about assistance,
you did awareness, you provided sanitary materials, like hand washing materials.
We provided food items.
Like
for people that like rice.
How many bags of rice did you buy?
We provided rice. Yeah.
Eric Collins.
Yes.
Eric, you are you want to be a representative, right?
I said I provided rice.
You are on straight from the heart.
Friends of Eric, that's my Facebook page.
You are on straight from the heart.
If you check my page,
speak to me straight from the heart.
Yeah,
how many bags of rice did you buy?
Matthias,
did you contribute?
If you check the Friends of Eric page, if you see anything of such, don't believe me.
At least you provided rice. You don't want to mention the quantity where you provided rice to the people.
We provided for a few persons.
At least few people benefited.
Yes, few persons. Currently, the current how you call it, occurrence of COVID-19, very hugely involved. We started distribution of those marks, and the SSI will continue on this coming Sunday in District 15.
How are the young people, before I open the lines now to hear the young people you're interacting with? How are they all making in this country representation, leadership, by the way? People expect at least you be aware of, and that's how I think it should be. People should have their own money and come to power, then they lead.
One thing I'm very grateful of when it comes to politics now, currently in Liberia, the narrative is actually changing. And the voters' mindset of perception is far different as compared to 2005, 2011. And evidence is they just ended making senatorial elections. We saw other candidates hugely dishing out money here. We don't want to be specific. But in the end, you saw the decision of the voters. It speaks to the fact that Liberians now, they mean well. They know where they are heading. In District 15, I'm not worried that I'm not too potent financially. The fact that I'm competent, I have the experience, and I've come with the vision to lead the people of District 15. There have been huge endorsements across District 15. Some of these things we are not displaying it publicly because in politics you have to be careful. You don't want to know for your opponent to know your next move. So that only on the surface we can expose some of our move, but overwhelmingly I've been endorsing District 15 almost every day by young people. The young groupies in the district people call me. We have meetings. We share our perspective with them. We share our platform. How can we make a better representation of District 15? And people are gradually in support of the process. Even in the diaspora, I have the Friends of Eric chapter in the diaspora. People are soliciting support. People have been hugely involved in my process, like the rest I made mention of. He's supporting from the diaspora. So people are supporting us because they believe that we can make a tremendous impact when we're given the opportunity to serve not just the people of District 15, but the people of Liberia.
He's Ambassador Eric Paulo Collins of Montserrat County District of 15. He's a resident of that district, and he's ambitious. He wants to be representative of that district, but at the same time, he's informing the public that, the lawmaker has failed. So there's a need that he takes the exit door comes 2023. Let's hear from this person on the line. The numbers are, by the way, 0777 777 107, 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223, 0777 221 223. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is William Harris. I want to say good morning to your studio guest.
Mr. Harris, go ahead.
Manta, your studio guest. You know what Hondi guys when it comes to power? Insincerity. They want beef, fairness to the discussion. Even Mr. Kamara is going to agree. You come with the facts. You ask a man question about the scholarship, say, now existing at all. You are not seeing it. And you're proving that you got the person that he knows that on the scholarship. My brother, when you kind of power, when you come to power, you can't insist that it will always haunt you.
Okay.
He's telling you now, the CCP now, you got to tell her you're sending by. So, my brother, we can count sincerity, talk to the poor young. You know,
okay.
At least count sincerity. When you win, it will not haunt you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's move on to this other person on this other line. Good morning.
Matthias, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. This is Jedediah, and I joined you from our resident this morning around the David Junction.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Matthias, let me say thank you for the show this morning. But I would like to start by saying your studio guest, you shouldn't think that a politician like. By the way, this is in no way a defense of Representative Kamara. You shouldn't think that a lawmaker will open a station and you expect that station will be, a station that will promote his agenda or interest. We did it to Radio 5. Because I personally ran the show during the 2017 election for Honorable Father on his full radio. So, yeah, he is questioning the lawmaker. He is asking the lawmaker to make public the names of all those who have on his scholarship. So let him tell the public the names of all those that he gave rise to.
Or maybe the quantity, the amount, the bags, the amount of bags. Yeah, I'm going to prepare him to do that. Thank you. Let's hear from this other person on the line. So Eric needs to tell us, even if it's 4 bags of rice you bought and distributed in the district that now you want to make news out of, please tell us that I bought 4 bags of rice. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias. Let me say good morning to our people in Liberia and District 15, most especially. My name is Prince Prosperity Paul, the philosopher. He is a young person in Logan Town and a follower of the workings of the lawmaker.
So where you join us from?
Well, yeah, I joined you from our hostel area in town.
Go ahead.
Actually, Matthias, District 15 leadership is in a spin. If I say it's in a spin, that is to say the anomalies of the workings of the lawmaker is glaring, that his workings at the legislature, the capital building, and within the district, given the fact that he's exercising non-features and misfeatures as leadership. That is to say, he's failing to act upon those things that he has the power to do by law, and those things that he has the power to do by law, he's wrongly doing them. Ranging from the fact that, in fact, this lawmaker has not declared his assets, that is flagrantly, against the code of conduct. Even when it comes to oversight responsibility, that has to do with send money in Liberia. The 2010 Investment Act talks about foreigners and foreign businesses to that mountain. But before the eyes of the lawmaker, there are foreign businesses in the district illicit send money upon the Scorpion Creek and then the Simple River there.
Okay.
Let's come to his function. Matthias, there are too many things on our plate to discuss about the failure of this lawmaker. I've been following the show, and I'm one person I would like to appear on your media to at least discuss district number 15.
My doors are always open. Thank you so much. Let's move on to another person quickly. We're going to hear lastly from Mr. Collins. We have to give him the time to respond quickly. Call us in the numbers 0. Yeah, okay, let's take Mohammed Jallo. Mohammed is, I think it works. Does he work in the office of the lawmaker? Let's say Mohammed, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias Lavandi.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
Fine, you have a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Can you confirm whether you work in the office of the lawmaker?
Yeah, I work in the office of the lawmaker.
As what?
As secretary.
Secretary, okay. Go ahead, make your point.
I did not call this morning to discourage the young man in studio from, his political ambition. In fact, I encourage him to do so. In a democratic society, everyone is encouraged to test the democratic space. But howbeit, we expect every young person to be at least sincere. The young man in studio stated that criticize the lawmaker regularly, which we encourage. And at some point, due to a criticism, we carry on engagement in communities. I think that's more of a plus. Like you say, imposted on the rule concerning the rule condition in the district, and then the following day we want to face the rule and all the kind of stuff. those applauses, the fact that a lawmaker is listening to you, I think in his mind, he feels that he's criticizing Abu, but he's actually praising him. And secondly, he stated that during the COVID, he carried on some distribution of materials, in his own small ways and all that. We did the same. Also, we distributed rice, which was in high quantity, and the young man took our rice picture, interestingly, took our rice picture and posted it on his Facebook page as if he's the one that carried on the distribution. I have a picture, I can send it to you.
This is my WhatsApp number. Do it now. I can display on the screen for the viewers to see.
Okay, I'll do that immediately after I drop the line.
30 seconds now.
And to the issue relative to the radio station, you know, the radio station, the plan, Honorable Kamara working a plan. Honorable Kamara had a plan to open a radio station for a long time. He been setting that plan for a very long time. So when it came to fruition, the idea was to help empower youth within the district. If you check out the station, you will find so young people working there, people of his peers. But you will find them criticizing them in a way that I know demeaning and compromising, which is not encouraging.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. We cannot take any more call now. We have 2 minutes for Mr. Collins to wrap up. Mr. Collins, you're asking the lawmaker to display the names of people that benefited from his scholarship. Would you mind telling me how many bags of rice did you buy?
About 10 bags of rice.
Yeah, good.
That's the exact
quantity. Good.
That's fair. Capacity
that's fair. That's fair enough.
Full.
Little is much. Yeah. Go ahead. Wrap
but
up
you know, let me say this. The first thing I want to appreciate the callers, irrespective of the views, whether it's for or against. But the callers, I was very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I said with regards to the scholarship, what got me to raise that is because the few have not been consistent. I'm not arguing that yes, the man cannot pay somebody's school fee to honor the progress of Representative Kamara. We are only doing so to ensure that we call him to order so that he can do what he was elected for. Trust me, I'm not praying for District 15 to not progress, because if District 15 is not making progress as a resident, I'm not progressing. So I want to see the betterment of my district. Transparency, accountability. That's the major thing in District 15 that is lacking.
Okay, thank you so much.
So,
and
I hope the lawmaker can work on that.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. It's always a pleasure having a conversation with young people, ambitious young people who want to step out of their comfort zone and challenge new things, try new things, be adventurous. But quickly, let me leave you with these words. No matter how bad things are right now, right? No matter how stuck you feel, no matter how many days you've spent crying, no matter how many days you've spent wishing things were different, no matter how hopeless and depressed you feel, I promise you won't feel this wrong, this way forever. But what's going to happen is that you have to keep moving. My name is Matthias Labindi.
Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said a third dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine will be available to vaccinate